Now, if I push this thing out, okay? There you go, Harold.
That would be the shot.
I can't say enough for what County Council has done in being very aggressive in lowering the fees at the airport. And then to go along with that, what we've done here at the Chamber and golf, in cooperation with Golf Holiday and the Hospitality Association in marketing. So far this year, we've only received $70,000 from the state of South Carolina for tourism funding because of the tourism development fee that was passed by City Council in June. And with that money, we've been able to market in every air service market that serves Myrtle Beach. And you've seen increased employments and increased traffic at the airports, which further substantiates the need for this expansion.
This is a wonderful day for the Grand Strand, a long time coming, and really a great example of private sector and the public sector getting together, establishing some goals and getting them done.
Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. And first up tonight, certainly an eventful day for Myrtle Beach International Airport.
The Myrtle Beach Community Appearance Board gave a key and final approval to airport expansion plans. Now it's up to the county to start construction. As soon as it secures a building permit, work could start in the next 2 months.
We have team coverage for you tonight on what happened today and also what happens next. And we'll start with News 13's Aisha Khan at the airport with tonight's top story. Aisha?
That's right, Bob. Well, that approval came earlier this afternoon to have the airport's terminal extended off of Harrelson Boulevard going into the airport. Now that will allow the terminal to have 11 gates instead of the 7 it already has. They say a new terminal has been needed for a long time because the airport is overcrowded at peak hours. However, they say the old terminal will stay. They also say that not only will the new project have a positive impact on the Grand Strand's economy, but also put the airport ahead of its competing airports in the state.
For long range, I think we'll be very competitive. I'm hoping that we will be able to offer more flights and more connection routes through here. So I think as far as the look also, when it's finished, it's going to be an icon for the area, which to some people, they just want to get in and out. But for us locals, we really want it to be a nice showplace, and it will be.
Hello and welcome to another edition of WMBF News This Week. Today we've got a very big show. After years in the making, it looks like plans will finally move forward on expansion of the Myrtle Beach Airport along with a brand new renovation. To help us talk about that on today's show, we've got Rick Ott, who is VP of MB Construction, and Brad Dean, President of the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. So this week, a big momentous week. How does it feel to kind of finally have a major hurdle stepped over?
Well, it's certainly a big deal for the airport, and we're all flying high at the airport right now. So,
no pun intended?
No pun intended, but we're very anxious to get construction started. The construction industry in the area are desperately looking forward to this project coming out and getting some of those jobs.
And Brad, as far as Chamber concerns, you could not be more happy, I would imagine.
Oh, this is huge, not just for the Chamber, not just for the business community, but for the entire region. The airport is one of the biggest economic development tools we have in our region, and this means jobs in the very near future, and that's very important to everybody along the Grand Strand right now.
What else does it mean as far as the future growth of the Grand Strand, as far as people's first impressions when they arrive at the airport?
Sure. Well, from a tourism perspective, we think that one of the greatest ways and easiest ways for us to grow the tourism industry is to penetrate markets outside of our traditional drive market. When you start to get into the Midwest and the Western United States, as well as international travel, you obviously have to fly here. And so expanding the airport gives us the ability to attract more airlines and more flights. But that's not just good for the tourism industry. That's also important for a lot of residents who want to fly back to see family and to travel out of Myrtle Beach International Airport. So this allows the airport to expand. We've needed it for a long time, and now we finally have a plan that everybody, the city, the county, the airport, the business community, and the residents are behind. I think that's good news for the Grand Strand.
Rick, for people who may not understand or appreciate just how much work went into this, as Brad just said, everybody coming together, how difficult was that to get all phases together with the county, the CAB, the designs, and even public input?
Well, first let me say it was a pretty comprehensive process. We started with 13 different designs, really narrowed those down to about 3, and then took those to the public, got the public's input as to what they would like to see based on budget and type of facility. And really, we reacted to the comments that we received from those public hearings.
All right, we'd like to put up on the screen right now, if we can, the brand new design, if we can look at the outside.
Well, what you're seeing is as you enter, we are building a new entrance to the airport as we extend Harrelson Boulevard. As you drive down that new loop road coming into the airport, you will come through just about where the existing terminal is now, the south end of the existing terminal. We will be renovating that existing terminal, and then you'll drive up and see what I think is a pretty spectacular new terminal. The roof design on this was planned to have a monumental impact, so to speak. Although it is there for practical purposes, by developing the roof in that format, we're able to use natural daylighting. It saves about 17% of the energy cost on this facility.
WMBF News reporter Greg Argos went out to the terminal and found one traveler who's very excited about the new project getting underway, and also talked to CAB, the head of the CAB, Larry Bragg, and his thoughts on finally moving forward.
This is my first time into Myrtle Beach.
And as a first-time visitor from Detroit, Sandy Eddles says she's not too impressed by Myrtle Beach International Airport.
This is the airport that has so many people coming into, so many destinations, so many lifestyles to come into.
While she may not be impressed now, Sandy is glad to hear the news about the Community Appearance Board's approval of an airport expansion plan. Thursday night, city and county council people, CAB members, and local officials celebrated the plan's approval, which will allow construction to begin on the nearly $130 million project.
We're excited about getting ready now to have a ground break and stick the shovel in the ground.
Plans call for a commercial terminal with 5 gates, bringing Myrtle Beach Airport's total gate count to 12. CAB also approved the layout for the expansion of Harrelson Boulevard. That expansion would extend the road from Bypass 17 through to Kings Highway.
I feel elated.
That's because CAB Chairman Larry Bragg says this expansion will not only allow more travel into the Grand Strand, but it will create hundreds of jobs.
With CAB, we never consider how things work as far as economics, but it's great when something all comes together and we get great jobs out of it. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Including Sandy, who says she's looking forward to making a second trip to a much larger airport.
I would think that it would be a good thing.
Let's call up the plan again, the outside shot.
The Myrtle Beach International Airport is the fastest growing airport in the state of South Carolina over the last 10 years, but it has by far the smallest facility of any of the other commercial airports in the state. We'll be adding about 100,000 square feet to the facility. New ticketing, new passenger screening, a new concourse, and new baggage handling. This airport is a little bit different than most airports in that when families come, they have a lot of luggage and they also have a lot of golf clubs. We run about 120,000 sets of golf clubs through this airport every year. And so we're having to put specialized equipment in order to accommodate that.
It's one of the few airports in the nation where our deployments have actually grown. In the third quarter, our deployments are actually up over last year. And while this is not a great economy, we're still seeing more people flying into Myrtle Beach International Airport. There are other communities in our state and our nation that would just love to be only off 10 or 20%. And here we are dealing with growth at the airport. I think that's a good sign that if you're growing in down times, just imagine what's going to happen when our national economy comes back.
Even after extraordinary efforts brought a yes vote for the expansion project to move forward, the efforts to notify the public of the environmental assessment hearings on the airport expansion and Harrelson Boulevard extension continued to be above and beyond the regular requirement. Quarter-page newspaper ads were run in the Sun News, the Myrtle Beach Herald, the North Myrtle Beach Times, the Ainer Journal, the Laura Scene, and the Horry Independent. Horry County continues to advance toward the reality of a new terminal by hiring architects and engineers, advertising for contractors, and working toward a significant DBE contribution. The Myrtle Beach International Airport expansion, once a dream, working toward a reality.